A street vendor in Mumbai is selling chai for 10 rupees, about 12 cents. No cash register, no card reader, just a laminated QR taped to his cart. A customer pulls out their phone, scans it, and boom, payment done in 3 seconds. Now zoom out. This isn't just one vendor. This is 50 million merchants all across India, from luxury hotels to roadside flower sellers, from auto rickshaw drivers to doctors' offices, all using the same system. India didn't just adopt the QR code payments, it became world's largest QR payment economy practically overnight. And this is the story of how this happened. To understand this explosion, you need to understand where India was just 8 years ago. In 2016, India was overwhelmingly cash-based. We are talking about 96% of transactions. People carried thick wads of notes everywhere, and this created massive problems. First, there was black money problem. Unreported cash transactions meant tax evasion on a scale that crippled government revenue. Corruption thrived in cash. Second, financial exclusion. Hundreds of millions of people, especially in rural areas, had zero access to banking. No credit cards, no bank accounts, nothing. They were invisible to the formal economy. Third, the infrastructure problem. Setting up card payment systems is expensive. Point-of-scale machine costs money, requires maintenance, charges transaction fees of 2 to 3%. For a vendor that makes $5 a day, that is simply not viable. Then on November 8th, 2016,
भाइयों बहनों 50 दिन मेरी मदद करें।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi made a stunning announcement. In just 4 hours, 86% of India's currency would become worthless. The 500 and 1000 rupee notes, the backbone of daily transactions, were suddenly invalid. Demonetization, as it was called, was designed to crack down on black money, but it created chaos. ATM lines stretched for hours, businesses couldn't operate, people couldn't buy food. India needed a solution, and fast. Enter UPI, the Unified Payments Interface. Launched just 4 months before demonetization in August 2016, UPI was a government-backed payment system that let anyone with a smartphone transfer money instantly between bank accounts for free. Here's what made UPI revolutionary. It wasn't controlled by Visa or MasterCard. It was an open protocol. Any bank, any company could build apps on top of it. Google Pay, PhonePe, Paytm, they all use the same underlying system. But the real genius? QR codes. Instead of expensive hardware, merchants just needed printed QR code. That is it. A piece of paper. A customer scans it with their UPI app, enters the amount, and the money moves directly from their bank account to the merchant's bank account. Zero transaction fees, instant settlement. Think about how radical this is. In the US or Europe, you need different apps for different payment systems. In India, any QR code works with any app. Complete interoperability. The government and private companies went on massive push. They printed millions of QR codes. They ran TV ads showing grandmothers using UPI. They offered cashback incentives to get people hooked. And then came COVID-19. The pandemic was the ultimate accelerant. Suddenly, touching cash felt dangerous. Countless payments went from convenient to essential. UPI transaction exploded from 1 billion per month in 2019 to over 10 billion per month in 2023. Today, India processes more digital payments than US, UK, Germany, and France combined. Over 50% of world's real-time digital payments happen in India. So, what did this actually change? First, financial inclusion. Suddenly, the chai vendor has a digital transaction history. That means that he can get a loan. He can build credit. He is now part of the formal economy. Over 80% of Indian adults now have bank accounts, up from 53% in 2014. Second, it turbocharged small businesses. A woman selling homemade pickles from her home can now accept payments from anywhere in the country. No cash to handle, no change to worry about, no fake notes to detect. But perhaps the most fascinating is how it leapfrogged the traditional banking system. India didn't build credit card economy and then move to digital. It jumped straight from cash to QR codes. It's like how many African countries skipped landlines and went straight to mobile phones. The data is staggering. In 2023, India processed 117 billion UPI payments worth $2 trillion. And remember, nearly all of these are free to users and merchants, no transaction fees eating into margins. Of course, it is not all perfect. Privacy advocates worry about the data trial. Every transaction is tracked, creating a digital footprint of your entire life. Who's watching? Who's analyzing? There are also concerns about digital divide. Yes, smartphone penetration is high, but what about the elderly, the technology illiterate? Some people still struggle with the system. And there is dependency issue. What happens if the system goes down? When UPI experiences outrages, which happens occasionally, the entire economy hiccups. You have put all your eggs in one digital basket. Cybersecurity is another front. As the money flows into the system, fraud attempts have risen. Phishing scams, fake QR codes, social engineering attacks. The government is playing constant catch up. But step back and look at what India has accomplished. In less than a decade, it transformed from one of the world's most cash-dependent economies to a digital payment powerhouse. The secret wasn't superior technology. QR codes have been around us since 1990s. The secret was creating the right ecosystem, a government-backed open platform, zero transaction fees, complete interoperability, and a massive public push to drive adoption. Other countries are now studying India's model. Brazil, Thailand, the Philippines, they are all building similar systems. Some are even adopting UPI directly. What started as a response to crash crisis became a blueprint for digital payments in developing countries. The chai vendor in Mumbai is not just selling tea anymore. He's part of a financial revolution that puts India ahead of some of the world's most richest nations. Sometimes the most powerful innovations aren't about inventing new technology. It is about making existing technology accessible to everyone. India has proved that a simple QR code can be a powerful idea, making banking free, instant, and available for all.